Can you use my guitar for a sec? I'm going to secure the thing a little better. All right. So I'm a member of the Rhode Island Songwriters Association, and one of the things that I do there is every once in a while I participate in this thing called Songwriters in the Round, which you get 4 songwriters, and there's an assigned theme, and everyone has to write a song on the theme. And I've done this a few times. I've gotten some pretty good songs out of it, as well as some songs which nobody will ever hear again. Oh, come on. So this is one of the former, and the theme was Stale Tequila. It doesn't sound like it's in tune. Sorry about this. And so, as far as I know, tequila doesn't actually go stale, but I gave it my best shot. All right, let's give it a whirl. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. After the show, I had packed up my guitar. You caught my eye. You were standing at the bar. You flashed me a knowing grin. Looking so good, it was half a sin. I felt myself start to fall in lust. My brain began to whirl, till I thought it might combust. And I woke up, the taste of stale tequila in my mouth. I looked around, I was all alone. How could you do it? You were so beautiful. A few more drinks and a half a pack of smokes. We talked for hours. You laughed at all my jokes. Then we went back to your hotel. We did some things that I shouldn't tell. I felt myself start to fall asleep. You made me feel so safe. Well, it almost made me weep. And I woke up, the taste of stale tequila in my mouth. I looked around, I was all alone. How could you do it? You were so beautiful. Take it away, Nat. Then I awoke in a bathtub full of ice. You left a note, I had to read it twice. It said, call 911. I stole your kidney, thanks for the fun. I felt myself start to fall apart. Well, I know you took my kidney, but you also stole my heart. And I woke up, the taste of stale tequila in my mouth. I looked around, I was all alone. How could you do it? You were so beautiful. I'm going to play the piano on this next song, then I'll switch back to the guitar. When you're a musician who also has a day job, as I am, one of the things that you find yourself doing is playing a show late on a weeknight and then having to get up the next morning and work. And usually if you pack right up at the end of the show and head straight home, it's not that bad. You know, you're kind of tired tomorrow, but you're not feeling that bad. But sometimes at the end of the night, you don't want to just pack up and go home. You, for whatever reason, you want to hang out, maybe talk to people, who knows. And you do that knowing that you will pay for that the next day. And generally, the next day you wake up and you feel truly terrible, and you really do pay for it. But every once in a while, you wake up the next day, and you do feel horrible, but you don't feel as bad as you should, and it feels like victory. And it was after a night like that that I wrote this song. When I went out last night, stayed out pretty late. Now I went out last night, stayed out pretty late. Now I feel relatively human, and that is relatively great. And I had gin for dinner, vodka for dessert. Well, I had gin for dinner, vodka for dessert. Now I'm thinking whiskey for breakfast, 'cause I don't see how it can hurt. Take it away, Natalie. Strange place, yes, that's where I went to bed. When I woke up in a strange place, yes, that's where I went to bed. But I'm feeling pretty good now, considering I probably should be dead. I'm gonna play a little now. Pour me a cup of coffee, then make me another fine. Pour me a cup of coffee, then make me another fine. 'Cause I'm feeling relatively human, but only about 40% alive. Thanks. Man, this thing is just not standing too. So, like a year and a half ago, I read this book by Sarah Vowell that was about the Pilgrims and the early days of the Massachusetts colony. And there was a section on Anne Hutchinson, one of the founders of Rhode Island with Roger Williams, who had a fairly terrible time in Massachusetts before she was expelled and moved to Rhode Island. So I thought when I read the book, I should write a song about that. And then I did nothing for a year and a half. And then I did a show where you had to write a new song. And then I thought, I should write a song about that. And I did. Since we're in Massachusetts, I was wondering if I should try to give it some kind of anti-Anne Hutchinson spin. But I'm just going to do it the way I wrote it. And I hope you enjoy it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, Anne Hutchinson was a mighty woman. She was the daughter of Francis Marbury, and she was put on trial in 1637 for teaching in that Boston colony. Lord, Lord, preaching in that Boston colony. Well, the governor said to Anne Hutchinson, well, you've broken that biblical law, for a woman's place is in honoring her husband, not speaking out in church at all. Lord, Lord, speaking out in church at all. Well, let me read to you from the Bible. That's what Anne said to that governor. It says that my duty as an elder woman is to teach those that are younger. Lord, Lord, teach those that are younger. And Anne said, what law have I broken? Just tell me and I'll see if it is true. Then the governor shouted, well, hold on, sister, 'cause we're the judges here, not you. Lord, Lord, we're the judges here, not you. Sing it, Nat. Well, they argued for days into the evenings, and the governor was losing his cool. For despite all his learning, this self-educated midwife was making him look just like a fool. Lord, Lord, making him look just like a fool. Now Anne said, you know that I'm not worried, 'cause God said you can't hurt me. Then the judge laughed out loud and the court retired to convict her of heresy. Lord, Lord, convict her of heresy. Now some might say the moral of the story is the danger of too much pride. But I say it's just hard to break through that glass ceiling, even with God on your side. Lord, Lord, even with God on your side. Anne Hutchinson was a mighty woman. She was the daughter of Francis Marbury, and she was put on trial in 1637 for preaching in that Boston colony. Lord, Lord, preaching in that Boston colony.